what is going on? It is Mr. DJM here, back again bringing you guys another player review. Today we have got the Battle of the Icons Part 3, and this one truly is a Battle of Icons. We have got the 86 Patrick Vieira versus the 86 Ruud Gullit. So as always guys, if you are excited for this episode, make sure you drop a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. And also if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me on my way to 2,000 subscribers, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you did not actually catch my last player review, I did the 88 POGBA versus the 87 inform MILINKOVIC SAVIC. So if you guys want to go and check that out, I'll leave it in the link in the description. But today we have got Vieira versus Ruud Gullit. So as always, if you guys are new to this series, what we do is we split it into 5 key components which determine what makes the best buy on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. So key component number 1, we've got stats. Pretty obvious really, just how well their stats suggest they're going to play in game. Key component number 2, we've got valuation, so how much they cost on the market. Key component number 3, we've got linkability, so what league and what nation they're from. Key component number 4, we have got how they play in games. Sometimes players can actually play better, or they can even play worse than their stats actually suggest. And then finally we've got key component number 5, versatility. Can they play in a number of positions on the pitch? So we are going to start off today with the 86 Patrick Vieira. So of course he is an icon and he is from France. Now he's got 81 pace, 75 shooting, 80 passing, 79 dribbling, 86 defending and 89 physical. He's 6'4", he's an absolute giant. He's got medium to medium work rate, he's right footed, he's got 3-star weak foot and 3-star skill moves. Now I bought him for 760,000 coins. He is probably about 80k more than Ruud Gullit, I would say. He's just a little bit more expensive than Ruud Gullit, but there's not too much in terms of price difference. He got 6 goals and 3 assists in the 10 matches. Now for me, I see Patrick Vieira as more of a defensive midfielder. He's not really about goals or assists, but he did manage to get a pretty respectable return considering, as I did mention, he is more of a defensive midfielder. So yeah, I'm actually a massive fan of Patrick Vieira, and he did play really well in game. I was really impressed with both of these icons. Really did live up to their big names, if you like. So we're going to pick out a few of Vieira's key stats here. The first one that stands out to me is 91 strength. This guy is an absolute tank in game. He's so strong, and being 6'4", you just can't push him off the ball. Probably one of the strongest and hardest players to push off the ball on FIFA 18 in my opinion. 92 composure as well, very composed. 90 interceptions as well, that's a really good stat. 90 reactions. He's also got 89 vision as well, so a bit of a creative player as well. He can do a lot of the dirty work, very physical, but he has got a bit of a creative spark about him, having pretty nice vision. So we're going to move on now for key component number 3, so linkability, what league and what nation they're from. For icons, this component's not really as important because of course icons can link to anyone on the game. But we're going to focus on his nation, being from France. I've said this a number of times on these player reviews that in my opinion, being from France is the best nation to be from on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. So in terms of linkability, there's no doubt in my mind that Patrick Vieira has definitely got the upper hand over Ruud Gullit. But so yeah, for linkability, you would say Patrick Vieira has arguably got the best of both, considering he can link to anyone on the game. So we're going to move on to key component number 4. How does he play in game? Does he live up to his 86 rating? And does he live up to the amount of coins he is on the market? Now Vieira, he is a very expensive player on this game, there's no doubt about that. In terms of being an 86 rated player, for me he plays a lot better than an 86 rated player, there's no doubt. For me, he's one of the best central midfielders that I've used on this game, there's no doubt about that. Now is he worth the amount of coins he is on the market? I'm not so sure. I think there's probably a few better options that you could go with in terms of value for money. I'm a big fan of POGBA. For me, I'll probably take POGBA over Vieira in terms of value for money. But I think in terms of icons, is he worth it? I would say yes. If you're looking for an absolute powerhouse in the middle of the midfield, Vieira is definitely one to take a serious look at because he's a very good midfielder. And finally, versatility, I would say he could play from CDM, central midfielder, maybe as a cam. That's probably about it. Maybe as a centre-back also. So we're going to move on to Ruud Gullit, who is, he is normally a central midfielder. I've actually converted him to a centre-forward, but I've mainly used him in the midfield when I was playing with him. Now, he is an icon and he's from Holland. Now he's got 80 pace, 80 shooting, 86 passing, 82 dribbling, 83 defending and 78 physical. He's 6'3", he's got medium to medium work rate, right footed, he's got 5-star weak foot and he's got 3-star skill moves. Now it's actually 3-3 on the stats, so very even. Now Gullit I bought for 690,000 coins. As I did mention, he is a bit cheaper than Patrick Vieira. Now Gullit got 9 goals and 3 assists in 10 matches for me. An unbelievable return for a central midfielder. Yes, I was using him slightly further forward. I probably used him as like a cam or a central midfielder. I did change the formation quite a lot in game, but this guy is very versatile. He can play in a number of positions. Now we're going to pick out a few of Gullit's key stats. So the first one that stands out, 94 composure. This guy is just as cool as a cucumber. So composed in front of goal. I did score quite a few long shots with Gullit. Yes, he's only got 81 long shots, but he does have that 5-star weak foot, which does help. And yeah, if you just look at his card, very balanced all-round stats. He can play as a creative midfielder, but he can play as a defensive midfielder as well. So just a very balanced all-round card. So we're going to move on for linkability for Ruud Gullit. Now, being from Holland, I think it's an okay nation to be from. I wouldn't say it's anything sensational, to be honest. There's a few decent Dutch players out there, but yeah, as I did touch on, I think Vieira definitely takes it in terms of linkability. So we're going to just move on now to how does Gullit play in game? Does he live up to his 86 rating? Does he live up to his valuation on the market? Now in terms of an 86 rated player, he's probably the best 86 rated midfielder that I've ever used. Him or Vieira is probably, they're the best two that I've probably used in terms of 86 rated midfielders. So is he worth the amount of coins that he is on the market? Now he is a fairly expensive midfielder, and again, would I rather take someone like an 88 Paul POGBA? There's maybe a few informs like the 87 MILINKOVIC SAVIC that you could argue is better than this Gullit. So there's probably a few players that you could argue are better than these icons, but in terms of the icons, I think Gullit is probably the best central midfielder. Along with him and Vieira, there's maybe a few others, maybe Laurent Blanc that you could put in there. But in terms of icons, I think Vieira and Gullit are two of the best midfielders to go with in terms of value for money as well. So we're going to move on for versatility. Can he play in a number of positions on the pitch? Now I would say this guy is a bit more of a creative player and a bit more of a goal scorer than Vieira. So I'd say he could play as a CDM, in my opinion, definitely. I think he could play as a central midfielder. I think he could play as a cam. I think he could play as a centre forward, and at a push I would use him as a striker as well. So I'd say he's slightly more versatile than Vieira. In my opinion, Vieira is more of a defensive midfielder and Gullit's more of a central midfielder slash creative midfielder. So we're going to summarise now, guys, and I'm going to tell you who I think is the best buy on FIFA 18 Ultimate Team. Now, these two players are just such iconic players on this game. I think a load of people like to use these two players. Like, you look at some of the pro teams on FIFA, a load of players have Gullit and Vieira. Yes, they have their prime version, but that just shows how good these players are. So this one is quite a close one, really. This is what it comes down to for me. I think if you're looking for a more defensive midfielder, I would say buy Patrick Vieira. This guy is the best defensive midfielder on the game, in my opinion. There's no one better than him. He's really strong and powerful, and he's got pretty good pace, and he's pretty decent with his passing and his technical ability. So if you want a defensive midfielder, go for Vieira. But if you want a bit more of a box-to-box midfielder, I would say go with Ruud Gullit. In my opinion, Gullit is the most complete midfielder on this game. So I am saying Ruud Gullit is the better buy on this game. But I'd say if you want a defensive midfielder, go for Vieira. But for me, Gullit takes it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be running a poll so you guys can vote. So as always, guys, if you could drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, I'd really appreciate that. But that's just going to be about it from me for today, guys. So I will catch you in the next video.